to sports. The biggest news: Bryce Young has been officially benched by the Carolina Panthers after 2 games into his second year under a new coaching regime. His rookie year was horrendous. The head coach Frank Wright was fired 11 games into the season. They did so bad that they got the first that their record warranted them getting the first pick in the draft. But as we all know, they traded that number one pick the previous year to draft Bryce Young with Chicago. So, um,
And DJ Moore
and DJ Moore, yeah, yeah. So, and
and more. There was like more stuff included with it. It wasn't
yeah,
just
there's a couple players who have been drafted that are
they
starters that
got
are,
fleeced.
yeah, they did get fleeced in a way. But what's your take on this? This isn't the regime uh who drafted excuse me, Bryce Young. So what is your take on this? Should Bryce Young have been benched 2 games into the season?
It's tough. I mean, if you when you watch tape and you watch him live, like he doesn't look good. Like there's no other way around it. You can say that he doesn't have the talent that some other guys, specifically obviously gets the comps to CJ Stroud, given that they were 1-2 in the draft. He doesn't have the receiver talent that CJ Stroud has. He doesn't have the quality of coach he may have in D'Amico Ryans. Whatever the case may be, the fact of the matter is, like eye test wise, if you look at the film, you watch, you see all 22 clips, whether that's, watching yourself or watching on Twitter, like there's plays that are there to be made that he's just not making. Like plays that he made at Alabama where whether it's just being accurate with the football, off scripts things that he was able to do at Alabama that um led to him being the number one pick, that led to him led to people overlooking the fact that he's a small quarterback, 5'9", maybe 5'10" with some heels on, and 180 pounds if he's drenched in water. Overlooked all those things and took him number one overall with other, more talented quarterbacks in my eyes that were available in that same draft class, and Stroud and Richardson and whatnot. So, I mean, it's tough. Like, obviously, his situation is not ideal, and you have to take that into consideration. Carolina is a dumpster fire. It has been for several years now, dating back to, the end of the Cam Newton era when they went 15-1 and had that Super Bowl run to come up just short. Ever since then, they've been pretty much a dumpster fire. They've had a lot of talent. They had McCaffrey, DJ Moore, what you name it, some quality guys in there that would have helped if they were still on the team. But they let him go for whatever reasons. And you're kind of seeing the repercussions. He doesn't really have many weapons around him. Um, so it's tough. Like I said, though, those things have to be considered, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks that would be in the Carolina Panthers situation and thrive. I don't think CJ Stroud would be playing at the level that he's playing at right now if he got drafted number one overall. Um, but yeah, but I mean, still at the end of the day, the film doesn't lie. Like he's not playing well. He's missing. There's plays to be made on the field, and so you could say he shouldn't be benched because obviously it's going to hurt his confidence, and it's going to be hard to recover from that sort of thing. But maybe he can go the Baker route and end up, finding his way down the line. It's possible. I mean, people wrote Baker off, and now look at him. He's playing at a top 10 level right now through 2 games in this season, and last year's success that he had. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if the coaching staff thinks that Andy Dalton gives them a better chance to win, like I necessarily don't think that's crazy to think. Like, I think that could very well be the case that right now, Andy Dalton gives the Carolina Panthers a better chance to win football games. And you could say, well, Carolina doesn't have any expectations. They shouldn't, be trying to win. They should be trying to develop. But at the end of the day, like, coaches and players and GM, they want to win because they're trying to keep their jobs. Like, if you don't win, um, your ass is going to be on the line. You're Dave Canales in his first season, like if he doesn't have produced some type of results, like who knows if he gets a second season? He can be just like Frank Wright. So I'm sure he feels a little bit of pressure to put the best product on the field and put his team in the best position to win. And maybe Andy Dalton can do that. I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays better than Bryce Young. Like Bryce wasn't hasn't been good at all. So that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Okay, so you're kind of on the bench Bryce Young campaign. All right.
I'm not. I mean, it's like I can understand the reasoning behind it. Obviously, I think that there a lot. Some of it's not Bryce's fault, but I'm not here to say that like it's the craziest thing in the world to do because he's looked like the worst quarterback in the league through 2 weeks.
Okay, let me see this. Okay, Dave Canales, coach of the Carolina Panthers. I think that you are a coward, and I think that you must be an Aquarius because you are one hell of a manipulator. Dave Canales is the type of guy who, when his girl text him, "Hey, my friends said they saw you cheating on me with another girl going to get pizza," and he texts back, "I didn't even get pizza that day." It's like, dude, the problem isn't Bryce Young. That you don't watch the Panthers and say, "Oh, this would be a winning football team if they just had good quarterback play." I look at their defense can't stop the run. I look at their offensive line can't keep people in front of them for more than zero point 0.3 seconds, and I look just at a team who, coaching wise, doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know what their identity is on offense. I don't know what their identity is on defense. They got a couple good corners. They have some their defense isn't shouldn't be as bad as it has been. But Dave Canales, this is more of a you and the staff that you've put around on this team problem than it is solely Bryce Young just isn't playing well. If you and then two, they're looking at this. If we want to call a spade, the only reason that there's so much heat on Bryce Young and that the Carolina Panthers are so being so impatient, this is just some bullshit, honestly, is because of the success of CJ Stroud, which has nothing to do with them. The success of CJ Stroud has nothing to do with the Carolina Panthers. CJ Stroud, I guarantee you, last year would not have taken that Carolina Panthers team to the divisional round of the NFC and then lost to the 49ers. I guarantee. Not with Adam Thielen as his best receiver. CJ Stroud walked into a great situation. The Texans drafted well, not only picking him, but Will Anderson Jr. They got a coach that's building a culture and has an identity. They got a more than competent offensive coordinator. Who the hell is even the Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator? I'm looking at this. It's just some blame deflecting bullshit. Listen here, man. You guys are 0-2. Nobody expect people, everybody in the league, everybody who evaluated at the beginning of the season, the NFL, had the Carolina Panthers being the worst team in the league, except for Panthers fans. I hate to break it to you, Dave Canales. Nobody expected you niggas to be good because you're not supposed to be good this year. And last year, we don't put that on Bryce Young. I don't look at last year and say, "Oh, they sucked because Bryce Young sucked." No, the team sucked. There no weapons. Okay, so you get him Deontay Johnson. What is Deontay Johnson on a good team? A 3 at best? So it's like what are we doing here? This is such BS. I think this is what the biggest issue with the NFL today and how quarterback play is looked at. Like most Patrick Mahomes didn't play until his second season. And then two, you guys were supposed to get the number one pick this year. Okay. Say you get Caleb Williams. What does Caleb Williams look like on the Carolina Panthers here, right now? What would that look like? It would look terrible. Would it look better or worse than Bryce Young?
I don't know. Probably better.
They wouldn't be 0-2.
They would be 0-2. I'm just saying, like, Caleb might look a little better.
Okay. And who's to say that Bryce Young doesn't start playing better towards the end of the year and then end up say they win the last 4 games of the season, like the Chargers did with Herbert his rookie year. So like I'm saying, bro, it's that's such bullshit. That's such bullshit because and then you said they could be better with Andy Dalton, but Andy Dalton winning. So let's say you win 5 games with Andy Dalton. That season is not a success because
No,
we're not
I agree
working
with that.
we're not working towards anything. There's Andy Dalton, okay, like he's not our quarterback of the future. He's not even our bridge. He's probably not even going to be on the roster next year. Why are we playing him? What I don't understand the investment. There's no investment here. So we know that we're not contenders this year. So we just want to develop our number one pick. That should be the mindset. Let's do everything we can to get this ball rolling in the right direction and help this kid reach his full potential. Like I said, I don't care if we lose every game, but win the last 3 games of the year and he starts playing and he has some confidence going into next season. Next season is the goal. So I think that that's bullshit. And honestly, if let's say they win 4 or 5 games with Andy Dalton, I think that Dave Canales will be on an even hotter seat at the beginning of next season than he would be if he just would have stuck with Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
I could see. I see what you're saying. I just think I think you're a little bit understanding the fact like that Bryce has just played really poorly. Like despite the fact that his situation has not been good, like there are countless there's plays on the field going back to Sunday's game where like guys were open or reads were just awful on the field. Some of the decision making that he had, I saw stats that like the Chargers didn't necessarily generate a ton of pressure in that game. The Panthers, I think I saw a stat that was like this they were seventh in the league, like in some sort of like pass rush or something where so it was like his offensive line was a top half of the offensive line performance based on, whatever metrics were used last week, but that didn't translate into anything. They couldn't even muster they couldn't do anything. Like literally they had one drive the whole entire game that I can remember that was like and that was like the beginning of the second half. The first half was like some of the worst offensive play I've ever seen watching football in a long time. Like literally they had the Chargers looking like the 2002 Ravens out there
Yeah.
with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed flying around the field, couldn't do anything, couldn't do a goddamn thing, making Deion Henley look like Ray Lewis and making Elijah Molden look like Ed Reed back there. Like it
Yeah.
was insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like it's tough. Like this, I agree with you that um, they are deflecting. They're trying to put the blame on Bryce when he's not necessarily the problem. But I don't think that he's the solution either, which is tough.
How do you know? You're not giving him a chance to see if he's the solution. 19 games into a career is not enough to see if he's a solution or not. Johnny Manziel might have got more opportunity.
He's not
Jamarcus Russell got more opportunity.
he's not the solution with what players they have right now
Well,
on
shit.
the roster.
I don't give a damn. We picked him first. We got to see. I got to see if this
Maybe
is a
they're
solution or not.
maybe their thinking is like,
He's
well,
not good enough to elevate a ass team. So he's not good enough to transcend the worst roster in the NFL. No, I give you that. 100% he's
maybe
not.
maybe they're thinking that him he'll benefit more from not playing than being out there
No,
playing with
they did
this
that last year.
sorry ass team
Can't do
and
that. No,
killing his confidence and doing all.
no, because that's not what the coach said. The coach didn't say that. The coach never said
Yeah, of
that. He
course. The
came out and
coach is
said,
gonna
then no, if that's the case, that's what you say. So you're not breaking down his confidence. Not like, oh, this nigga sucks. Andy Dalton gives us the best chance to win. To win what? To win 5 games max this year? Y'all be lucky to win 5 games with Andy Dalton. What out of Andy Dalton's last 2 stints, which was part time with the Chicago Bears and then part time with the Dallas Cowboys, the year that I think Dak broke his ankle, where he was absolutely terrible with a team who, since Andy Dalton left, has been winning nothing with 12 games, and who Cooper Rush went 5-0 with the same team. Andy Dalton had them picking what? Who they draft that year? Micah Parsons had them picking 11th, starting him for 12 games. He sucks. Andy Dalton sucks. I'm surprised he's even still in the league. So what are we doing here? Why are we playing him? It's I think it's blame deflecting to the max. I think it's nasty. I think that Dave Canales doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That this is his first head coaching job, right? I think he's panicking. I think the owner and GM are signing off on this just because looking at the success of CJ Stroud, who is the once in a lifetime talent, as you see. So why are you even comparing Bryce Young to him? This not his situation. That's not his team. He doesn't have the same weapons. Doesn't run the same offense. That's irrelevant. Whatever they got going on over there, whatever other 31 teams have going on, doesn't matter. You guys got to focus on what you got going on. So this is just going to be another year of them getting the number 1 pick in the draft, probably, and then probably hoping to get another quarterback. And we'll see if that quarterback even wants to fuck with him. If you was a quarterback, would you want to fuck with Carolina after seeing how they did Bryce Young?
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not. Oh no, I'm good. I'm Eli Manning. I'm pulling the Eli Manning to San Diego. No, we ain't going there. And don't let them have to get that first pick in a couple years with that Manning boy, because you already know what they're gonna do. If you think a Manning
Same
is going to
exact thing.
Charlotte, yeah. If you think that Manning boy going to Charlotte, you got another thing coming. Shit, if you think Shedeur going to Charlotte,
Mm-mm.
And if Shedeur going to Charlotte, guess who's going out of Charlotte? You, Dave Canales, because we bringing in Deion. So you about to you over here trying to freak the game, trying to overthink shit, about to get your job taken by Deion Sanders. All this overthinking when you should have just stuck with
Who's
Bryce.
not even a good coach if we keep it a bug.
Okay,
But
yeah,
that's neither here nor
yeah,
there.
yeah, that's for another day. But yeah, man,